Okay, before we get started with entering events and scheduling rides to the TCBC calendar, we're going to go through a couple of housekeeping items. The first of which is logging into the RideStats site itself. So, credentials. The Twin Cities Bicycling Club has three different areas that have usernames and passwords in them. The first of which is the membership system, which is where you go to renew your membership every year with TCBC. The second of which is our website. That username and password is used for posting to the forums. It's also used for accessing information such as the Ride Leader resources, which is the different forums and training that we have for ride leaders that is kept on the TCBC website but only available to ride leaders once they're logged in. And then the final area that has a username and password is RideStats itself. Now, the username is an email address that actually comes across from the TCBC membership system. So whatever email address that you have for the membership system that you used for your initial membership, that is going to be the email address that is brought across to RideStats and used as your username for RideStats. Now, if you don't remember what that email address might be, you can simply send an email to ridestats@biketcbc.org, and we'll be happy to send along what your login email address is. Now, if you also don't know what your password is or simply want to reset your password, this can be done by clicking on the Change Reset My Password link. When you click on this link, you're going to enter your username, which is the email address that you just received, and then click on Request Reset. This is going to send you an email that'll have a link back to RideStats that allows you to then set your password. Please make sure to check your spam or junk mail box just in case the email found its way into there. But otherwise, this should give you what you need to get into RideStats. So now that we have our credentials, we're going to go ahead and sign in. And the first area that we're going to go to is under Home, and we're going to go to User Preferences. Inside User Preferences, there are two checkboxes that we would like all ride leaders to check. One of them is to have your email address publicly posted, and the other is for your telephone number. At bare minimum, we recommend that you have your email address available for members or potential guests to be able to contact you when you're scheduling rides if they have any questions about the ride. It's very important for us as ride leaders to be available to answer questions on our rides from people who may come and experience those rides to make sure that the ride is right for them, or if they have any questions about the route or ride in general. And from an email address perspective, we're not actually posting the email address on the website, and we'll get to that in just one second. But the way that this is going to look when a user is looking at the calendar, and I'll just click into a scheduled ride here, you can see that I'm going to be listed as the ride leader regardless. What those two checkboxes are doing is having an email Bob link, or an email your name link, and then the phone number to contact you at. Now, the reason that we say that the email we would prefer to be required is simply because this email address is not actually shown. And if I inspect the website, it's actually a code to pull up my email address. But when somebody clicks on the link, it's going to open their mail program such as Microsoft Outlook or Gmail, then populate my email address so that the user can then send me an email to ask me questions about my ride. I have no problem displaying the phone number either, but for ride leaders, the phone number is optional. The email address, we would prefer to have that available to make sure that a member or guest could contact you if needed. So with that being said, please do check the boxes, or at minimum, the email box. Click on Save, and in the next video, we'll get set up with how to add a start location for a ride, as this will be a critical element in creating our first event. Stay tuned, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.